tested positive after traces of cocaine were discovered as a result of a routine test that was given to the voluntary anti-doping agency. It's understood that the anti-doping data on the day
Joseph Parker has failed a test for a performance-enhancing drug. Then it's easier to kind of say, okay, I understand what's happened there, and we await the B sample. And although I would feel very hurt.
In the social media world, as these things do, we heard that AJ and Jake Paul was almost done for December, but Eddie said to me yesterday at 60-40, so we don't know. I don't know if that is the case, and he's failed a sample for cocaine. That's really surprising, massively surprising.
Conor Benn's failed drug test revelation hits hard, coming right after his crushing of Chris Eubank. Suddenly, that night's performance takes on a whole new dimension. Every swing, every jab landed with uncanny precision, painting a picture of dominance so clear it almost seemed unreal. Watching him dismantle Chris Eubank Jr was mesmerizing, leaving fans in awe, stunned, and rethinking the sheer scale of what they had just witnessed.
In him connected to this, it's even more shocking. You just highlighted there, this is the noises that this is a voluntary antidote.
Conor Benn's fight night performance. He admits it's easier to wrap your head around now, yet still strange, stirring questions about whether cocaine could have been used to mask performance-enhancing drugs. His complete domination over Chris Eubank was nothing short of unreal, leaving everyone whispering, wondering if something unusual was at play.
That's kind of easier to digest. This is weird. I don't know if cocaine, I honestly, I don't know if cocaine is now used as a masking agent for a performance enhancing.
Liam Goff highlights that Conor Benn's astonishing performance might be tied to the massive muscle he gained. It wasn't just weight, it was pure strength and raw power. Fans and analysts alike are left wondering how he moved with such explosive speed, effortlessly overwhelming Chris Eubank Jr. Every detail of that fight has drawn attention, fueling whispers and speculation about whether performance-enhancing substances played a role in such an unbelievable display.
Now some of you may be thinking, oh, for what? You know, he has put a lot of weight on, and it's not fat weight, a lot of muscle. You know, big shoulders, chest looks bigger, you know. There was that video he did of him eating a raw fish. I mean, man really wants to get dysentery, doesn't he? But you're thinking, okay, is it something to do with that, putting on all that weight? And, you know, is it maybe that, you know, he needs stamina for later on in the fight? Because he did fight very aggressively, uncharacteristically aggressively, in that Fabio Wardley fight. Joseph Parker can be aggressive when he wants to, but when he's in there with a world-level operator, very seldom is he that aggressive.
Dominic Engel admits that the fight fell short of expectations, leaving him underwhelmed. He points out that Chris Eubank Jr. simply didn't show up, and Conor Benn claimed the win with ease. The performance was so commanding, so out of the ordinary, that it stirred suspicion everywhere. It almost felt too effortless, sparking conversations about whether Benn relied on performance-enhancing substances to achieve such a flawless triumph.
For me, the fight didn't live up to the expectations. I'm extremely underwhelmed. How they've pulled that off. Very, very, very poor fight. Disappointing. It came alive in the last round. That's it. The last round it happened, and Conor Benn got the win. You know, rightly so. But Eubanks tonight didn't turn up. Old overnight.
Adam Smith lauds Conor Benn for his masterful execution and impeccable technique. He emphasizes Benn's lightning speed, nimble footwork, and pinpoint body shots that caused immediate damage. Chris Eubank Jr. appeared flat, lacking impact. Fans and analysts are left in awe at how Benn made a top contender seem so ordinary, and whispers grow louder, wondering if steroids or other performance-enhancing substances fueled this astonishing display.
Yeah, Conor was brilliant tonight, executing the game plan. I thought he was quick. I thought his feet were good. I thought his jab was terrific, especially for the body. Body shots did early damage, and yeah, I mean, he was punch perfect and almost got the stoppage win at the end. On the flip side, Chris was disappointing.
The weight concept underscores that Conor Benn's rematch domination stunned everyone from the opening round. It was an entirely different fight. Eubank Jr. appeared utterly overmatched while Benn moved like an unstoppable force. Analysts note that the performance was so drastically elevated that suspicions about steroids or other performance-enhancing drugs are inevitable. This extraordinary display has left fans and experts questioning the bout's integrity and marveling at how Benn could so effortlessly overwhelm a top-tier opponent.
Conor Benn just dominated the rematch. It was not even close. From the first round on, this was a completely different fight from the first one. It was not in any way, shape, or form even round 13 of the 12 previous. This was a completely different Chris Eubank Jr., completely different Conor Benn.
And Derek Chisora voices sheer disbelief at Conor Benn's complete domination of the fight. He notes that Eubank Jr. offered no real resistance, while Benn's relentless training and drastic weight loss rendered him nearly unstoppable. The performance was so extraordinary, so lopsided, that many are left suspecting performance-enhancing substances might have contributed, making Benn look far stronger and faster than anyone could have imagined.
Shoelaces, but I can get you down. So even though he got down to it, you saw the effect of it there. It looked like a man walking in slow motion, in quicksand. Conor was all over him. Well deserved to the end. Chris had nothing to give.
Wally DS remarks that it's unfortunate the scandal has cast a shadow over boxing. He acknowledges Conor Benn's performance as nothing short of unreal, yet cannot ignore the controversy surrounding possible drug use. The focus on substances distracts from the sport itself. Still, everyone who watched that fight agrees Benn's dominance was extraordinary, leaving serious questions about what granted him such a one-sided edge.
And the only reason I really am happy to talk to you about it, not like no one cares what I fucking say anyway, Eamon, but people don't want to interview me when I do a nice piece about somebody's background or when I interview a journeyman like Lewis Van Potts or anything. So, you know, it's a shame. It's a shame that this story has got so much attention.
Dave Coldwell's reaction captures the shock of Conor Benn failing a drug test. The immediate feeling is anger and disbelief, seen by many as a betrayal of the sport. Questions are flying, and everyone wants answers, yet his dominant fight performance already casts a shadow of suspicion. Analysts and fans are left pondering how Benn could so effortlessly overpower Chris Eubank Jr., delivering a jaw-dropping display now clouded by possible steroid use. The controversy has shaken the boxing world, leaving no one untouched.
Fucking hell, cheating bastard. Yeah. You know, that's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is, but then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's somebody that's failed 3 times, or this is the third adverse reaction.
Johnny Nelson voices disappointment and frustration over the Conor Benn drug scandal. He emphasizes that it's breaking news, and the full story remains unclear. The astonishing nature of Benn's fight night performance has everyone questioning how he could so effortlessly defeat Chris Eubank Jr. Analysts now suspect that performance-enhancing substances played a role in his dominance. Both the integrity of the fight and Benn's reputation are under intense scrutiny, demanding accountability and decisive action from boxing authorities.
It don't matter what drugs you take, it doesn't make you a better fighter. It might make you stronger, it might make you fit. It doesn't make you a better fighter, and that's proof. You know, so until more news.
Frank Warren likens Conor Benn's situation to serving a sentence, suggesting that breaking the rules inevitably brings consequences. Everyone who witnessed Benn's unreal fight night performance is now questioning whether steroids played a part. Even if a fighter redeems themselves later, the stain on their reputation remains. Analysts note that Benn's effortless dominance over Chris Eubank Jr. felt suspicious, and the integrity of the sport must be safeguarded. Fans and experts alike are debating the fairness and ethics of letting such performances go unpunished.
I can see where they're coming from, but the fact of the matter is, it's like if you go to prison, you're found guilty of a crime, you go to prison, you serve your sentence, and the slate gets wiped clean.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes the need for the British Boxing Board of Control to step in and handle Conor Benn's case. Everyone is questioning how Benn could perform so unrealistically well, effortlessly defeating Chris Eubank Jr. The mix of sheer dominance and a failed drug test has made the situation explosive. Legal and regulatory processes are vital to determine the consequences. Analysts and fans are watching closely to see if the governing body acts decisively, as Benn's performance has stirred massive suspicion and now threatens the sport's credibility at the highest level.
Obviously, at the moment, the British Boxing Board of Control aren't. So we have to speak with them, deal with the legal situation and see where it lands. And this is quite fresh. Obviously, I don't even think it's 30 minutes. I think it's more like 10 or 15 minutes since that. And, we'll see what...
Don Charles delivers a blunt assessment of the Conor Benn scandal, stressing that drug use in boxing is unacceptable. Analysts and fans agree that Benn's unreal fight night performance over Chris Eubank Jr. appeared suspicious, possibly boosted by steroids. Failing to enforce strict punishment only encourages such behavior and tarnishes the sport, so everyone is calling for harsher penalties to preserve fairness and integrity. Benn's actions have ignited outrage and debate, and the governing bodies must act decisively to show that cheating will not be tolerated in professional boxing.
That's up there, but he's going to always be a dangerous fighter, and we're just going to do the best we can. I do want to ask you, obviously, a fight that we've wanted to see on these shows is Joshua Buatsi and Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde in 3 weeks' time faces the monster in David Benavidez. From your knowledge of boxing, how
Duke McKenzie issues a stark warning about Conor Benn's failed drug test and astonishing fight night performance. Analysts agree that Benn's display against Chris Eubank Jr. looked suspiciously effortless and may have involved steroids. In boxing, the danger isn't just competition, it's personal safety and the sport's integrity. Performance-enhancing substances put both fighters at risk and undermine the game itself. Everyone is now questioning how someone could dominate so easily while endangering opponents. This situation highlights the need for strict penalties and reinforces that cheating is unforgivable and cannot be ignored in professional boxing.
If it was me, take his license away. You know, because you cannot cheat in the sport of boxing. Not if you're going to put on a pair of gloves and get inside that square circle and physically fight somebody, and potentially you could easily lose your life, then to take anything which will give you enhance your performance, it's just wrong.
John Fury underscores the seriousness of Conor Benn's failed drug test and how dangerous boxing becomes when banned substances are involved. Analysts and fans note that Benn's unreal performance against Chris Eubank raised suspicions even before the test. While legal processes must take their course, the potential consequences for his career and safety are enormous. The sport cannot accept actions that compromise fairness and endanger opponents. This controversy serves as a stark reminder that effortlessly dominating the ring may no longer earn admiration if it comes at the price of cheating and health risks.
Ban the fucker. Ban him. Because it's a dangerous sport. Whatever they do and whatever they don't. But I'm having no opinion on it at all. You know, a man's innocent till proven guilty.
Carl Frampton delivers outright condemnation of fighters caught using performance-enhancing drugs, highlighting Conor Benn's unreal showing over Chris Eubank Jr. that fight night dominance now feels tainted by steroids. Analysts note that boxing is already dangerous, and drugs only multiply the risk for opponents. Calls for lifetime bans reflect the seriousness of the offense. Fans are stunned at how effortlessly Benn won and are questioning the authenticity of his skill. Everyone is now debating whether such performances can ever earn respect when cheating and health risks are involved.
High-profile guys getting caught, and it's just horrible. Genuinely, and I know you were about saying, without going fucking fully mental here, I just believe if you're caught with any performance-enhancing drug, you should be banned.
Johnny Nelson reminds everyone that drugs can never replace true skill or boxing intelligence. Analysts point out that while Conor Benn's unreal performance against Chris Eubank Jr. was dominant, the shadow of steroid suspicion now clouds his achievements. Raw strength and energy alone cannot secure championships. Fans and experts alike are debating whether his fight night display reflected genuine talent or artificial enhancement. The situation has ignited intense discussions on ethics, fairness, and the sport's integrity. Everyone is questioning the worth of victories cast under suspicion and what it means for professional boxing moving forward.
Drugs don't make you a better fighter. Drugs may make you a little stronger, may make you a little, give you a bit more energy, but it don't make you technically smart. It doesn't give you all of that, you know. So those drug cheats that do it purposely, you got to remember, you know, why are you doing it? What difference is it going to make? It's going to make you like a boxing Einstein.
Adam Cadill highlights the serious safety risks tied to Conor Benn's alleged drug use and astonishing performance against Chris Eubank Jr. Analysts agree that permitting fighters to cheat endangers the sport's integrity and puts opponents in harm's way. The British Boxing Board of Control must treat voluntary anti-doping tests seriously and conduct thorough investigations. Fans are shocked at how effortlessly Benn dominated the fight night. Experts insist that safety and fairness must take precedence over payday. This controversy underscores the urgent need for strict enforcement and accountability in boxing to protect fighters and preserve credibility.
Again, they want to turn up and get paid.
Correct.
This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously. Absolutely. Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping, I know that, but this is a test. He's popped hot. Let's look into it properly. What happens if something happens on Saturday night?
Absolutely.
What if we've already got to say
the Conor Benn failed drug test story has rocked the boxing world, casting a shadow over what was already an astonishing performance against Chris Eubank Jr. Analysts and fans are questioning how Benn could dominate so effortlessly, while the suspicion of steroids now hangs over his victory. This isn't just about one fighter, it's about the integrity and safety of the sport itself. Should Benn face serious sanctions, it could set a precedent for accountability, showing that cheating will not be tolerated in boxing. Fans are left debating how much of his fight night brilliance was genuine talent and how much was chemically enhanced. The situation has reignited discussions on safety, fairness, and ethics in professional boxing, with everyone watching closely for the outcome. Are you backing Conor Benn to weather this storm, or do you think justice will prevail and his victory stripped away? Share your thoughts in the comments below.